Fellas, what is going on today, fellas? So today's video, man, we're gonna be talking about the top mistakes that you want to avoid when you're sniping on 2K21. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you exactly what you want to avoid, and you should be a master by the end of this video because you're gonna learn a lot as long as you watch the entire video. Because as the American sniper myself, you know, and having as much MT as I have and getting his snipes as frequently as I do, you want to learn these mistakes and how to avoid them. As we progress through the video, each mistake is going to be more important than the last one, so you want to make sure you're watching from start to finish. Okay, so let's get into it, and let's get into the first mistake when you're sniping here on MyTeam. So the first mistake is using the wrong filters. So I'm just going to sit on a random filter. Let's see what the pink diamond small forward filter is like. Sitting on the wrong filters, man. The reason why this is a mistake obviously is because if you sit on the wrong filters, man, you're not gonna get any snipes because you don't know what filters to sit on, which I happen to be able to fix that problem for you because I make filter videos, and as well as do other content creators. But I make filter videos, so I'm gonna teach you what filters you want to sit on. Now, you don't want to sit on filters that are not going to be consistent. It depends. Like the filter that you're seeing me sit on right here, this is not necessarily a consistent filter, but when it pays out big. So if you're sitting on a filter that's not consistent, you want to make sure that it pays, and when it does, it's going to pay out big. All right, now let me tell you one mistake that I was personally making, and if I want to make a lot of MT from sniping, this is a mistake I need to avoid. Sitting on this filter right here, the possessed Halloween filter. Now you might say, oh look, there's 3 players on this filter and they go for so much. Yeah, that is true, but these guys don't pop up, bro. They never pop up, and the reason is because they're not in packs anymore. You want to sit on filters that have players in packs. Those are gonna be the ones that are the most consistent. Now, if you do happen to get a snipe on here, obviously you'd make like loads of MT, but I have spent hours upon hours upon hours upon hours literally on this filter and see not one thing. So it's not worth your time investment. Even if you are patient, it's not worth your time investment. You want to sit on a filter that is going to pay out more consistently. And so for the time being, right now, the day that I'm recording this video, and with how much MT I have, the filter that I would be sitting on is one that incorporates Grant Hill, because he's one of the most expensive players in the game at the moment, and he is in packs right now, which means people will pull him and they'll put him up for cheap for God knows why. I don't know, bro. So yeah, small forward pink diamond, this is a good filter to sit on. Minimum bid 500. You don't need to do that. It's just something I do. It really doesn't make a difference. And then boom, and then you want to go Eastern Conference too, because the Western guys aren't expensive. So this is one that I've been sitting on. I've seen multiple Grant Hills. I've been delayed on them, so I haven't gotten any, but I mean, I see multiple without too much, you know, trouble. So that's one for you right there. That's the first mistake you want to avoid, sitting on the wrong filters. The second mistake you want to avoid is having under 100k MT. You say, how is that a mistake? Well, if you never made 100k MT, that's understandable. If that's the case, then you want to use budget filters to get yourself to that point. But if you're at 100k MT, don't drop below that. The only way you should drop below that is if you actually get a snipe and then you're planning to resell it. So let's say, for example, I was at 100k MT instead of 800k, which I am at, and I wanted to snipe. Let's say I got a Grant Hill on this filter that you're seeing right here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got Grant Hill and he's better than everyone who I have on my team. Don't keep him. That man's going for like upwards of 300k. Like, why would you keep him? Yes, he is a great player in the game. Yes, he's a good player, but you're going to benefit more from selling him back as opposed to keeping him, because now you have to work your way back up all the way to 100k MT from the budget filters, and you cannot snipe those big snipes. Once you get to 100k, you really shouldn't be using the budget filters. You should be sniping those big snipes that are going to make you the big profit, because you're going to get more MT that way. So yeah, don't go underneath 100k MT unless you only have 100k and then you get a snipe for 100k. Then, you know, it's acceptable. But if you're in that position, then you're gonna have to sell it back. So if you're at 200k, for example, and you get a snipe for 100k, you can keep that player if you really want him. If he's a really good player, you can absolutely keep it, because, you know, you're still gonna have 100k to snipe those big snipes. Me personally, I would still sell it though. Most of my snipes, I sell them. I don't keep them because I don't know. I just like to make that MT, man. I'm an MT making man over here, bro. We don't keep snipes unless it's something really ridiculous. But for the most part, I'm going to sell it back no matter how much MT I have. But I have the luxury, being at 800k MT, I have the luxury of being able to keep whatever I want, really. I can get 5 snipes and I can still keep them, but you know, I'm trying to make some more MT. I'm not trying to keep nothing around here. So I'm going to continue to sell the snipes back once I do get them. So that's the second mistake. Do not drop below 100k MT. If you get a snipe and you're at 100k MT and you spend 100k on the snipe, sell it back to make the profit back, and then you continue to repeat the process over and over and over. And that's how you're going to become rich in MT. All right. The third mistake to avoid is posting players at the wrong times. So I am a victim of this mistake myself, and I've made it multiple times. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you want to avoid. So I sniped a Ben Wallace. Let me show you my screenshot. I think I have the screenshot because we know the laws around here. Screenshot or it didn't happen, bro. But I got my screenshot. Best believe that. Hold on. We got to go to 2K. Screenshots. I sniped a Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace used to be the most expensive player in the game. Here he is. This was... What's the date on here? Information. September 23rd, I sniped this man. I sniped him for 100k. He was going for around maybe 220k back then. And I was very excited to see that. I was like, yeah, lit. You know, I sniped Ben Wallace. And I sold him right then and there. Turns out that man ended up going to like 600k, bro, at his peak. And I could have made so much more MT had I been patient with the selling of the card. But you have to be patient with these snipes. You got to understand how the market works. You got to understand what players are going to go up and what players are not. So, for example, the Grant Hill that's in packs right now, there's a chance that he goes up after he's out of packs. That's what usually happens. When packs are gone, the player tends to go up in value because he can no longer be pulled. So you need to be patient. I know it's hard to be patient, but if you're patient, it's going to pay off in the long run. So let me show you an example of a player who went up in price. Another player who I sniped, who I sold right away and ended up going up in price. Pink Diamond John Wall. Let me go Pink Diamond. Yeah, Pink Diamond John Wall. See, right now he's 345k with 4 minutes left. I sniped him as well, which I'll show you the screenshot for. I sniped him as well. If I have the screenshot, do I have it? I don't got the screenshot, bro. I guess it didn't happen, but I have it on in my Road to 1 Million MT video. I have it there, but I just don't have the screenshot for it. But I sniped him for 100k, and I ended up selling him right away. He was going for like 220 at the time, which is still profit, you know. But I could have made so much more had I just waited. But, you know, I was being a bozo and a dunce, and I wanted to sell him right away. And, you know, I made profit, obviously. Mine sold for like 270. So I made around 170k profit off the snipe. But I could have made more had I just waited. So, and John Wall, I think I sniped him while he was still in packs. And obviously sold him when he went away. I mean, not when he went away. I sold him while he was still available in packs. And, you know, I paid the price for it. And I could have made more by just being patient. Like, really? Really? Come on. Why would I do that? You know, why would I do that? You got to avoid that mistake, man. When you get a snipe, it depends on who you get, first off. But let's say if I get Grant Hill right now while recording this video. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't even follow my own advice here. I would sell it just because he's going for so much. Like, let's take a look what he's going for. Grant Hill is just going for a lot. Like, he's going for 360, bro, with 4 minutes left. Like, there's a certain price where you can sell it and it doesn't really matter, but I probably still could make more if I were patient with it and I wanted to sell it, you know, once he's out of packs. But I mean, just seeing how much I can make off this right now, like, I would be very enticed to just sell him right now if I were to get him right now, which it wouldn't be a mistake to do because it's Grant Hill and because he's going for this much right now. But in the case with John Wall and Ben Wallace, they weren't going for this much when they came out. They were going for like 220. And I could have made more. So it really depends on the prices. Once you get to a certain price, you're like, okay, it's not that much of a mistake anymore if you were to sell him right now because he is going for so much. Grant Hill, maybe he'll go up upwards of 400k when he's out of packs. You know, who knows? I don't know. I cannot predict the future, but I mean, it's a trend that typically happens. It happened with Ben Wallace. It happened with John Wall. It can happen with Grant Hill too. Okay, so boom. That's the third mistake you want to avoid. The fourth mistake you want to avoid, and this is, I think, the most crucial one. This is the most important one that you want to avoid, is just being impatient. It's as simple as that. Being impatient on a filter. Because if you're trying to snipe these big snipes, you have to be patient on the filter. I'm telling you, you have to be patient. Patience is the main way you're gonna make millions of MT. Patience, patience, patience. I'm telling you, trust me on this, man. I've been so patient. I'm very patient when it comes to sniping. I spent hours upon hours on the Halloween Possessed filter to see nothing, but I was patient along the whole way. Eventually, I came to a realization that I'm wasting my time and I'd be making more MT on another filter as opposed to this, which is what I was speaking about earlier in one of the other mistakes, sitting on the wrong filters. But if you're sitting on the right filters, they're going to pay out eventually. You just got to be patient with them. And why? Because there's no way that you can earn more MT in any other method than sniping. Not that I know of. I mean, I know you can invest in players, but sniping, you're gonna get the MT and you're gonna get it right away. Like investing, you gotta wait and all that. Sniping, you gotta wait too, because you're waiting for a snipe to pop up. But once you get that, like, you're set, you're good to go. And I think sniping is the best way to make MT in this game. That is how I made majority of mine, just from sniping. Like, I don't really do anything else. I don't really play any games. And the games that you do play in this game, they're not gonna reward you with that much MT. Like, there's no way for you to make that much MT besides sniping. So let me give you an example, and I always talk about this because this is a very good concept. If I sit on this filter right here, the small forward pink diamond Eastern, and I sit on it for an hour or whatever, and I see one Grant Hill within an hour, and I get that Grant Hill, that's making me 200,000 to 300,000 MT profit, right? Because he's going for 360 around there from what I just showed you. It's making me anywhere from 2 to 300k profit off that snipe that I made within 1 hour if I just seen just one Grant Hill. Let's say I saw 2 Grant Hills and I got both of them, which is not that common, but I mean, it can happen. You're doubling that. You're doubling what you make. Let's say I sit on sit on the filter for 2 hours. I'm still making that 200 to 300k. What other way do you know that's gonna make you 200, 300k in 2 hours of playing MyTeam? There's nothing you can do that's gonna make you that much. So you might as well spend the time sniping. You say it's boring, it's boring, it's boring. I understand that, but if you have the patience and you keep yourself occupied doing something else, then you're good to go. Like for me, I have a 2-monitor setup. On my right screen is my sniping, my game, and on the left screen, which I'm recording on, is usually what I use to keep myself entertained. I'll go on YouTube, I'll watch a video. You can go on Netflix and watch a movie, TV, whatever you want. So be patient with it, man. Be patient with it, because it's gonna pay out big once you are patient with it. Keep yourself entertained doing something else, watching something else while you're sniping, but also keep that eye on the screen, because you never know when the snipe is gonna pop up. And that patience is gonna pay off big, man. Patience will pay off big. Eventually you're gonna be making a lot of MT. Don't sit on a filter for 5-10 minutes, expect to see something. You can get lucky, but you have to be patient with it, because it's gonna pay off large in the end. Sitting on it for 5, 10, 20 minutes is not gonna do enough for you. Sit on it for at least 30 minutes. Maybe you don't see anything. If you have extra time on your hands, sit on it for an hour, sit on it for more than that, you know? If you don't want to sit on it for too long at one time, like if you don't want to just dedicate 1 hour to sniping, do it 15-minute intervals. 15 minutes, I'll sit on here, I'll take a break, I'll spend another 15 minutes later on in the day, take another break, then another 15 minutes. Like, you can break it up into those intervals if you want to. But at the end of the day, you should be spending a lot of time on the filter, you know, because that is what's going to help you get the most snipes. The more time you spend on the filter, the more likely you are to get a snipe. It's just the way, you know, the game works. So those are my main mistakes, guys, to avoid making when you're playing 2K21 MyTeam and you're sniping. So, and if you avoid these mistakes, bro, you'll be making millions, bro, millions. I'm telling you, you'll make millions, and you'll make it very fast, okay? Because now you know the answer. If you didn't know the answer before, if you didn't know the secret before, this is the secret right here, okay? So go ahead, guys, do your thing, go crazy on the filters. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it was helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.